The Forbidden Room. Once upon a time, in a small town nestled among the hills, there was a group of 4 friends named Jack, Emily, Tom, and Sarah. They were just ordinary kids, going to the same school and spending most of their time together. One day, during break, Jack heard some upperclassmen talking about a secret room hidden somewhere in the school. They whispered about it being locked up for years, with rumors that it held mysterious treasures and secrets no one is allowed to know. Jack really wanted to tell his friends the news. After school, he got them all together under the big oak tree in the playground and told them what he had heard. Emily's eyes got big with curiosity. Tom scratched his head because he couldn't believe it, and Sarah laughed nervously, but they all felt excited. Wanting to find the truth, they decided to look around the school at night. They waited until it was dark outside, then slipped past the janitor and walked quietly through the empty hallways. Jack went first, following the rumors of what the older kids said until they reached an old hallway hidden behind the gym. There, hidden behind a dusty wall hanging, they found an old wooden door with a rusty lock. Sarah paused, warning them that they shouldn't be messing with the things they didn't understand. But Jack was already fiddling with the lock, using a bent paper clip he'd taken without asking. With a squeak and a moan, the door swung open, revealing a small room filled with moonlight. It was filled with dusty shelves, stacked with books and papers covered in strange symbols and pictures. Jack's heart pounded with excitement as he reached out to touch an old-looking book. As Jack, Emily, Tom, and Sarah explored the forgotten room, they found themselves surrounded by dusty shelves filled with old books and forgotten supplies. The air was musty, and cobwebs hung from the corners of the ceiling. Interest sparked. Emily grabbed an old journal sitting on one of the shelves. Its pages were yellowed with age, and the ink was faded, but she could still make out the words written in elegant script. The journal belonged to a former student named Amelia, who had attended the school decades ago. She wrote about her experiences and adventures, detailing the friendships she forged and the lessons she learned. As the friends delved deeper into the journal, they discovered clues and hints about the history of the school and the people who had once walked its halls. They read about secret passages and hidden compartments, each page revealing a new mystery waiting to be solved. Thrilled, they realized that they were finding a lost part of their school's history. They studied maps and drawings carefully, figuring out how the building was built and what mysteries it hid. But as they continued their exploration, they found something unexpected. Tucked away in a corner of the room, hidden beneath a pile of old blankets, they found a small wooden chest. Jack's hands shook as he lifted the lid. Underneath, he found a bunch of old stuff from a long time ago. There were faded photographs and letters, along with little knickknacks and keepsakes. Each one had a story behind it. They spent hours examining the contents of the chest, marveling at the memories it held. They laughed and cried as they read the letters and studied the photographs, feeling a connection to the people who had once owned them. But amidst the joy and nostalgia, there was also a sense of sadness. They realized that the secrets of the past were not always happy ones, that behind every smile there was a story of struggle and sacrifice. As they closed the lid of the chest and prepared to leave the room behind, they felt a newfound appreciation for the history of their school and the people who had shaped it. They knew that the memories they had uncovered would stay with them forever, a reminder of the power of exploration and the importance of preserving the past. With happy hearts and excited thoughts, they said goodbye to the hidden room and went back outside. They knew they would always have a special memory of this magical place. Jack, Emily, Tom, and Sarah hurried out of the hidden room, their heads filled with joy about what they had found. But they didn't realize that their adventure had awakened something old and inactive that was hidden within the school's walls. Late one night, while the friends were studying together at the library, weird things started to occur. Books went flying off the shelves, chairs fell over, and spooky whispers filled the room. At first, they thought it was just a joke or their minds playing tricks on them, but soon they realized that something bad was happening. The incidents escalated with each passing day, growing more frequent and more violent. Shadows danced in the corners of their vision, and strange symbols appeared on the walls. Sarah's voice trembled as she confessed that she felt like they were being watched, that whatever they had awakened in the secret room was now haunting them. Wanting really to find the truth, the friends returned to the secret room, hoping to find answers to the big mystery. But as they stepped through the doorway, they were greeted by a scary sight. The room wasn't the same dusty, forgotten place they remembered anymore. Instead, it had changed into a scary maze with winding hallways and walls that moved. The air was thick with a horrible smell of rot, and a feeling of fear filled the air. As they ventured further into the depths of the room, they encountered strange creatures lurking in the shadows. Twisted and deformed, these beings seemed to be the embodiment of the darkness that had taken hold of the school. With each challenge, the friends felt their determination weaken, their fear threatening to overwhelm them. But they knew they had to keep going, to face the evil force that had been released. Finally, they reached the heart of the labyrinth, where they came face to face with the source of the darkness. It was a hideous creature, a twisted mix of flesh and bone, its eyes glowing with evil rage. With a roar that shook the very foundations of the school, the creature lunged forward, intent on destroying those who had dared to challenge it. But Jack, Emily, Tom, and Sarah stood their ground, their friendship and courage serving as their greatest weapons. In a fierce battle that lasted all night, they fought very hard against the creature. They didn't give up, even though they seemed unlikely to win. And in the end, it was their bravery and determination that won, sending the darkness away. As the first rays of dawn broke through the windows, the friends emerged from the secret room, battered and bruised but triumphant, though the scars of their ordeal would linger. They knew that they had faced their fears together, emerging stronger and closer than ever before. And as they walked out into the light of a new day, they knew that no matter what challenges lay ahead, they would always stand united against the darkness. In the aftermath of their confrontation with the sinister creature in the secret room, Jack, Emily, Tom, and Sarah found themselves haunted by lingering feelings of dread and paranoia. Though they had emerged victorious, the horrors they had witnessed continued to plague their thoughts. Night after night, they tossed and turned in their beds, unable to shake the feeling that they were being watched. Every creak of the floorboards and rustle of the wind sent shivers down their spines, and the shadows seemed to stretch and twist with a life of their own. Their once strong friendship started to weaken as doubt and worry filled their thoughts. Jack flinched at every loud noise, sure the monster had come back to complete its attack. Emily became withdrawn, her happy eyes now filled with confusion. Tom grew more and more isolated, focusing heavily on his studies to try to forget the bad dreams that bothered him. And Sarah, who never believed things easily, found herself doubting everything she thought she knew about the world. As the days turned into weeks, the friends became more isolated, their once joyful laughter replaced by hushed whispers and wary glances. They avoided the secret room at all costs, but the memories of what had transpired there lingered like a dark cloud over their heads. Rumors began to spread throughout the school, whispers of strange happenings and unexplained phenomena. Some claimed to have seen shadowy figures lurking in the halls, while others spoke of eerie whispers echoing through the night. The once peaceful atmosphere of the school had been shattered, replaced by an oppressive sense of unease. Desperate for answers, the friends turned to the only person who might be able to help them, Mr. Henderson, the school librarian. Though he had warned them against meddling with the secrets of the past, they knew that he possessed a wealth of knowledge about the history of the school and the mysteries that lay within its walls. With shaking hands and shaky voices, they approached Mr. Henderson and expressed their worries and fears. To their relief, he listened patiently, his expression serious as he listened carefully to their story. "I had hoped you wouldn't have to face this," he said solemnly, his voice barely above a whisper. "But it seems that the darkness that once plagued this school has returned." Sadly, Mr. Henderson led them back to the hidden room. There, he explained the real story of where it came from. A long time ago, the school was the place where something terrible happened. It was a dark time that almost nobody remembers anymore. The hidden room was a place where people could hide from the confusion that filled the school, but it was also a jail for something much worse. As Mr. Henderson spoke, the pieces of the puzzle began to fall into place. The creature they had encountered was not a mere figment of their imagination, but a malevolent force that had been trapped within the walls of the school for centuries. But even as they learned the truth, the friends knew that their ordeal was far from over. The darkness that had been unleashed threatened to consume them all, and they realized that they would need to confront it once and for all if they were to have any hope of finding peace. And so, with a renewed sense of purpose and determination, Jack, Emily, Tom, and Sarah braced themselves for the final battle against the darkness that lurked within the secret room. Though they knew the road ahead would be fraught with peril, they also knew that as long as they stood together, they would never truly be alone. As Jack, Emily, Tom, and Sarah prepared to face the darkness in the hidden room, they were all very anxious. They were scared and unsure of what to expect, and they felt like the pressure of what they had to do might cause them to fight. In the days leading up to the final battle, whispers of betrayal echoed through the halls of the school. Sarah, plagued by doubts and suspicions, began to question the loyalty of her friends. She couldn't shake the feeling that someone among them harbored ulterior motives, that they were willing to sacrifice everything for their own selfish desires. Her fears reached a boiling point when she stumbled upon a secret meeting between Jack and Emily late one night. They spoke in hushed tones, their voices tinged with urgency and desperation. Sarah's heart sank as she realized that they were planning to confront the darkness alone, leaving her and Tom behind. Betrayed and hurt, Sarah confronted her friends, her voice trembling with anger and sorrow. But Jack and Emily insisted that they were only trying to protect them, that they couldn't risk putting their lives in danger. With tears in her eyes, Sarah turned to Tom, hoping for support and solidarity. But to her dismay, she found him standing silently by Jack and Emily's side, his expression unreadable. Feeling betrayed and alone, Sarah made a decision that would change the course of their destiny. With a heavy heart, she vowed to face the darkness alone, determined to prove her worth and show her friends that she was not to be underestimated. And so, as the hour of reckoning drew near, Sarah ventured into the depths of the secret room, her heart pounding with fear and determination. She knew that the odds were stacked against her, that the darkness would stop at nothing to destroy her. But she also knew that she could not back down, that she had to confront her fears head-on if she ever hoped to find peace. With each step she took, she felt a newfound sense of courage and resolve. her determination burning bright in the face of adversity. As she reached the heart of the labyrinth, she found herself face to face with the creature that lurked within. Its eyes glowed with malice, its twisted form radiating with dark energy. But Sarah stood her ground, her voice steady as she faced her adversary. With a cry of defiance, she unleashed a barrage of attacks, her determination driving her forward even as the darkness threatened to consume her. In the end, it was Sarah's bravery and sacrifice that saved her friends and banished the darkness from the school once and for all. Though she faced unimaginable horrors and stood on the brink of despair, she never wavered in her resolve, proving that even in the darkest of times, the light of friendship and courage will always shine through. And as the sun rose on a new day, Sarah emerged from the secret room, battered and bruised, but victorious. Though the scars of her ordeal would linger, she knew that she had faced her fears and emerged stronger than ever before. And as she looked out at the world with newfound hope and determination, she knew that no matter what challenges lay ahead, she would always have the courage to face them head-on, armed with the power of friendship and the strength of her own convictions. As Sarah came out of the secret room, hurt but successful, she found herself in front of her friends, Jack, Emily, and Tom. Their eyes widened with shock and relief as they saw her, realizing that she had faced the darkness alone and emerged successful. With tears in her eyes, Sarah embraced her friends, their bond stronger than ever before. Though they had faced betrayal and sacrifice, they knew that their friendship had endured, unbreakable, in the face of adversity. Together, they emerged from the depths of the school, their hearts lighter and their spirits lifted. The darkness that had plagued their lives for so long had been vanquished, replaced by the promise of a brighter future. But as they stepped out into the light of day, they knew that their journey was far from over. The scars of their ordeal would linger, a constant reminder of the trials they had faced and the sacrifices they had made. But they also knew that they were stronger for having faced their fears together. And as they looked out at the world with new hope and determination, they promised to never forget the lessons they had learned and the bonds they had forged in the darkness. In the days that followed, the school returned to normalcy, the whispers of the past fading into distant memory. But Jack, Emily, Tom, and Sarah knew that they would never truly forget the secrets that lay within the walls of the school, nor the bravery and sacrifice that had brought them to light. And as they looked towards the future, they knew that no matter what challenges lay ahead, they would face them together, armed with the knowledge that the power of friendship and courage would always see them through. And so, with their heads held high and their hearts full of hope, they stepped forward into the unknown, ready to face whatever adventures awaited them, knowing that as long as they stood united, they would always emerge victorious.